All right, all right, all right. We are live today at this channel, Dr. Tin's channel, right here on Facebook. We just want to talk about a very important topic. There's a lot of things going on in life, and we believe this subject is something that we need to talk about that affects our entire well being, in particular, our social and health well being. So, today, to do this discussion with me, I have a wonderful friend and brother. We've known each other for so many years. Do this discussion with me, and he is a wonderful man again called Pastor Desmond Corantin Ado. He's a pastor of ICGC Jubilee Temple, and he's here to do this discussion with me. And our topic is a hot one, as you may have seen. It's saying that people are bad, people are really bad. So cut them off, cut people off, And we're going to talk about whether it is actually the right thing to do or not, because there are reasons to cut people off. Just let people be and be by yourself, and there are reasons against that. So both of us are going to talk about it, and especially on the health implications, as well as our general well-being as people who live. All right, so I want you to welcome my guest again. This is my guest. Welcome to the show, Pastor Desmond.
Thank you.
All right. So today, as I've just alluded to, we are going to talk about cutting people off because they are really bad. We can't really depend on anybody anymore, or can we? We want to talk about that, and hopefully we have enough people also joining in the conversation and comments here and there. So welcome again. I'll give you a chance. Just welcome.
Thank you, Doctor, for the beautiful introduction. And I'm well pleased tonight to join you to discuss this important topic. Sometimes we want to cut people off, but in our other aspect, you can't just cut people off. We need each other. We need each other, so you cannot cut people off. I want to start by reading First Thessalonians. Thessalonians encourage us to. It tells us to encourage each other, and because of what people have done to us, some of us we are hurt. Some because of family, some because of church, some because of society. We have some people have decided to cut people off, but you cannot cut people off. No matter what the circumstances, you need somebody in your life. So to cut people off, sometimes it comes, but as a human beings, we need each other.
All right. So you have already taken a position. So I guess I'm going to take the other position, which is yes, let's cut people off, and then we're going to debate as the time goes on, and hopefully we will come to a conclusion by the end of the show. All right. So now, my first question is: how bad can people be? How bad can people be? I know you're going to be biased, at least from your introduction, but still, how bad do you think people are? Yeah.
From the beginning of creation, man or people have become, bad. Even from the creation that God created man. Bible says God created man in his own image. And when the first man that was created, he gave birth to two children. One of his sons, Adam's sons, rebelled against one another, his brother, and killed him. So from the beginning, from the onset, people became, bad. People are bad in society. And sometimes you do good or you did something great for somebody and they'll pay you back. Some of us, we have experienced such situations in our life. But yet still, as a man of God, you cannot cut, you have to love. Because the Bible says, even when we are still yet sinners, Christ died for us. So, in my opinion, there's bad in society. There's bad everywhere. Recently, we saw what happened in Texas. These little kids, they have done nothing. Somebody just pop in, open gun, and just kill them. So because of that, we're going to avoid people. I think no. So I need your point also, if you can add something to it.
Yeah, I think people are really evil. There are a lot of evil people. I cannot say everybody is bad, as you're saying, but there are really, really, really evil people out there. And so, if somebody wants to be by themselves, they don't want to do with anybody. They don't want anybody in their lives that would eventually just hurt them. I don't want to say that they are on the wrong side, because people can really, really, really be bad. Some people can hurt you really good. You know, you can give money to somebody to do a project for you, and if you don't get somebody who you can trust, that person can really be a bad person. They can betray your trust, basically betrayal of trust. There's evil out there, parents who are sleeping with their children. That's evil. So if such children grow up and they say that you don't want to do anything with your family, who am I to say don't cut people off? You know what I'm saying, Pastor? So, and also people who you give them some small chance and they'll dupe you. They'll either steal your money, take what belongs to you wrongfully. They will find a way to cheat you at some point, some way or the other. They will find a way to make sure that they betray your trust. So basically, I think there are too many bad people out there that we should, just be on ourselves. I know you don't agree, but from my vantage point, let me ask you: has anybody hurt you before?
Yes, even in other aspects, sometimes you have to avoid. Avoid people. Recently, this is just recently. My house back home. There was a guy who was taking care of the house for me, and I've not been in Ghana almost 3 years. And we just found out like 2 months ago that he rented one of my bedrooms to somebody for 30 million cedis. And I asked the guy, he said he did not do it. But when I sent somebody to my house, we found out there was a woman and a man and 2 children living. It hurts me a lot, because if I see the amount of help I've given to this man, even paying his children's school fees. When the children are sick, I send him money and all the kind. It was hurting me a lot. And he lied to me. I have to go through a legal procedure to move the person from my house. So people are really, 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 really bad. And especially those that you help a lot, they are the people that will hurt you. And, sometimes it goes through your bone. But where I'm coming from, no matter what the circumstance, you have to show a little love. You have to. It's like Jesus. You see, Jesus was among the Pharisees. He acted like he avoiding them, but he still was with them. So this is, we have to, mimic Jesus here a little bit.
All right. So for those of the people who do not believe in Jesus who are watching, I have some Muslims on the channel who also watch. People who are not believers, people from all walks of life, people believing in other things. How can you convince them that, people, no matter how good, how bad they are, you should not cut them off? I don't know. Let me ask you.
We are all human beings. We are all human beings, and we came from one place. We are same people. To cut people off, sometimes some people you need to cut them off.
Okay.
Some people in your life you need to cut them off, but you can't cut everybody off from your life. Say if somebody is leading you to a wrong path, he want to lead you to, say, drugs, cocaine, and other stuff. Person like that, you have to cut them off. You're
Okay.
supposed not to associate yourself with such people. You cut them off. So whether you're a Muslim, what we are human beings and we have to love each other.
All right. All right. All right. Well said. Okay. So, have you ever reached a place where I'm asking you a question here. Have you ever reached a place where you really, really didn't want to talk to anybody anymore in your life because of how much evil they did to you? Or
Yes,
do you know anybody who has done that? If you haven't, yeah.
I think I have one of experience in my life. I don't want to
No
go
names.
into
Yeah.
details, but there was somebody that hurt me a lot, and it cost me. It nearly cost me my life, and I decided not to talk to that person again. And I avoided that person for almost 20 years. I recently forgave the person. It cost me much. It cost me pain. So people like that, I try to avoid them. But when I look at where the stage I am now, we need each other. If you don't forgive, you also will not get. So I decided to forgive. So, and at the same time, when you free your mind, when you forgive others, you are free. Even you are in a health field. When you harbor things in your mind, you can get, a sickness or something like that. So you try to let it go. You free yourself. That thing that happened, it happened over 20 years ago. It was hurting me, but later on, I have to forgive the person.
Okay. So now, would
And
that
even
be?
even
Oh,
in even in a ministry, when I started ministry, even ministerial, pastoral things, it's here and there. They will hurt you. And sometimes you choose not to associate yourself with other pastors and just be by yourself so that you can do the will of God.
okay. Now, my question, kind of follow up to that, is you're saying that, uh, this person hurt you. It took you 20 years to get back to them, right? Now, you could have also forgiven them and still cut them off. The whole point is cut people loose. Don't let them come near anymore. What do you think about that? If you forgive them and you don't talk to them ever again, have you wronged anybody because you have cut them loose? What do you think about
No.
that?
Um my situation, I've forgiven the person, but I have also cut them loose.
Okay.
Yes. Like I cut them loose. They are not, how do I put it?
They're not your real
They
friends
are
anymore.
not on my daily list.
Okay.
Yes. Mhm. That's why I gave example like Jesus. He was within the Pharisees, but he did not mingle with them, but he didn't hate them.
Okay. He did not mingle, even though he
Yes,
was there. He still
yes.
lived among them. All right.
Hmm.
Okay. So, with that being said, can somebody say, or what do you think about somebody saying that, hey, I've had enough hurts? Like one person hurt you, right? It could be more. If you have one, two, three, and maybe four, and other people who are close relatives, even blood relatives who hurt you, can't you just say that, you know what, I'm not going to talk to anybody anymore? I am just going to be by myself. Nobody buys my food. Nobody pays my rent. I'm going to be by myself. I'm not going to talk to anybody. Basically, I cut people loose. I don't want to be surrounded by people anymore. What do you think about somebody who comes to that particular situation and says that?
In that aspect, sometimes you put yourself, I can say you put yourself in a danger
Okay.
because you cannot just live lonely by yourself without interacting with people. No matter what the circumstances, you have to interact with people. Say you avoid everybody and you live by yourself and something happened. You need people around you. You cannot say, I avoid all my family, my mother, my sister, my brother. I won't talk to nobody. I don't call nobody. Sometimes something happened to you. Who's going to help you? Even when you are sick, say if you are sick, the ambulance that will come and pick you, they are human beings. So 100% cutting off family, cutting off all people, I don't think is a good idea.
All right. So, with that being said, we have a story, and that is one reason why we actually picked this topic. A sad story that happened in the UK. So I'm going to post. We're going to go through the story, and we will hopefully learn something. But our whole idea is, can this be helpful to your health overall? Associating or not associating with people, being a loner, can it be helpful to your health? Okay. All right. So in that case, let's follow this story. So this is a woman that is called Joyce Vincent. And Joyce Vincent, I'm just going to read to be quick. But I think you also know the story, so if I miss anything, you can throw it in. So Joyce Carol Vincent was born October 1965. And he was an English woman whose death went unnoticed for more than 2 years as her corpse lay undiscovered at her bedside in North London. And this is an article from Wikipedia. Prior to her death, she had cut off nearly all contact with those who knew her. She resigned her job. She resigned from her job in 2001. This is not too far off. It's just about 20 years ago, 2001, and moved into a shelter for victims of domestic abuse. So now you see we have one reason here. She was a victim of domestic abuse of some sort. Around the same time, she began to reduce contact with friends and family. She died sometime in December 2003. Her remains were discovered on the 25th of January 2006, with the cause of death believed to be either asthma attack or complications from a peptic ulcer. So this is just a background story about this woman. And this is a little bit about her life, and this is her picture right there. So, as I said, he was born in London and all that. He was raised near Fulham Palace Road. Her parents had emigrated to London from Grenada. She was Doga descent. Her father, Lawrence, was a carpenter of African descent, and her mother, Lyris, was of Indian descent. Following an operation, her mother died basically, and so she became estranged. Also, she had a strained relationship with her father and was emotionally distant from her father. So this lady, as we have seen, was facing a domestic problem, right? Let's move on. Now, this is a little bit about her death. So, in North London, there was a housing trust flat where she lived. And as we said, the cause of death, they didn't know. Though it is speculated to be around December 2003, she suffered from asthma or peptic ulcer, as I've alluded to, maybe complications of a peptic ulcer disease. And that's the probable cause. They found her skeleton. When they found this woman in her apartment, it was only her skeleton. Do you want to add anything before I move on? There's more about her death that we can also see. Neighbors had assumed that her flat was unoccupied, and the odor of decomposing body tissue was attributed to nearby waste bins. That's her windows had no direct sight to people to see. There was noise in the building and all that. So many people thought that nobody was living in that apartment.
Living there at that time. Yeah.
Right. And she had lived among people all those days, months, weeks, until it turned to over 2 years. Nobody found out that she was there and dead because she had cut off everybody she was connected to. And as we are saying that, we are talking about, how you associate with people and how that affects your health. So in your health wise, as we said, this lady had asthma. And if you know a little bit about asthma, if your asthma is not well controlled, you can get an asthma attack, and that can be fatal. And probably that is what happened, as they're saying. So this story is a unique story about what can happen to anybody who says that they are going to be loners. They are going to be left. They should be left by themselves. They don't want to deal with anybody. They don't need anybody's help. After all, they have their job. After all, family is troublesome, and all the people around cannot be trusted. And this is what really hurt when I read this, because all these people that were surrounding her were not connected. Do you have anything to say?
I think I'm not saying that she caused her own death, but she, in other aspects, she chose to, because probably what she experienced when she was a kid, and the things that maybe people have probably done to her. Like we said, she was abused along, when she was a kid. So these things stick into your mind and decided, no, I don't want to associate myself with nobody. Because that stigma, sometimes it stick with you, that you are scared of people. You don't trust nobody. The trust will go away. So this will lead you to, exclude yourself from society, and you want to be by yourself. But if you have asthma, like my daughter have asthma, all the time you need to hold that thing that they blow, or you need people around. When she avoided the people that caused her to die. If people were around, probably somebody would go and knock the door and find out maybe something was going on. Or maybe when the thing started, probably call somebody, oh, I'm sick, I'm this, can you come over, and stuff like that. But because you avoided everybody, that caused her to die. Let me bring a little Bible quotation here. If you read Genesis 2, chapter 18, it says, the Lord said, it is not good for man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him. So it is, even God saw it from the beginning. God saw that he created a man. The man was set lonely in the garden. He walking by himself. You need somebody, because God is a spirit. He will not come in a physical body with Adam. So God decided to bring somebody. So we need each other to cut family off, to cut every friends off, to cut workers off, to cut church people off. If you're a Muslim, it is good to have people in your life. So when something happens, they will come for your aid.
Okay. Now the thing that also makes me feel like we can't, like you're saying, we can't blame her, but if somebody is being abused in the house, especially when they report it, nobody takes them serious. Some young girls are going through abuse. Some children are going through abuse. Nobody listens to them. Nobody listens to them. And if such a person, by some way, if they are able to obtain independence, and they say, you know what, I'm not going to talk to any more of my family members. My family members were even aware of what I was going through, and they didn't do anything to help me. What can you?
Such person, I believe that you need help.
Right.
You have to, I mean, I mean, I mean, reach out for help, because so that maybe you can gain. I don't know how to put it. You need help. As such person, you need help. If you know that you've gained your independence, though when you were a kid, you were abused, you were doing it, but now you are independent. But you want to avoid people. Like I said, you need people. So such person, you reach out for help. There's so many help around in America that you can go and they can help you.
Right, right. You need help. The other thing about the help that you're talking about, health wise, I'm coming from a health perspective.
Yes.
If you are
This one is
abused,
not a spiritual help. It's like in a health sector, or somebody that can counsel you, somebody that can teach you. Like maybe you need a mentor in your life, or somebody that has been through that situation before, but they have come out with the experience they have. They can teach you. Like my story that I was saying in the beginning, that somebody helped me. It took me a long time for me to give the person. When I meet people with such situation, I use my situation to teach them this is how you have to go about it. And most cases, I think it helped them, and also it benefit them to come out from loneliness, because you cannot hide yourself. You still live in society. You need society.
right. So as you were saying, the help that we need, like you're saying, a lot of people spiritualize everything. But you don't have to spiritualize everything. If it
Mhm.
is physical, deal with it physically. You could potentially fight the spiritual battles alongside with it, but you don't spiritualize everything. If you are being abused in the house, you don't blame spirits for that. Yeah, abuse is
Yeah.
abuse. You have to talk
Mhm.
to somebody and get help. Now, this young lady's situation, um, we can tell that she probably fell into depression of some sort because,
Yes.
according to the background story we read, she was domestically abused, whether it was verbal abuse or physical abuse or even sexual abuse, nobody knows. But it was the point that she was, you know, willing to leave all her sisters, all her family, and not talk to anybody. If you read the story, according to the story, all the people she dealt with were either a boyfriend or somebody at work or somebody nearby at her flat, which are not prolonged relationships. So if that person doesn't see you, they don't seem to need to call on you or check on you because you just saw them. Maybe you broke off. Maybe you are at work. Maybe something. This is why one person can die and be in the room or in the apartment for 2 years, over 2.5 years, and nobody knows about it because they had
Mhm.
cut off everybody. But
Everybody.
yeah, but again, um, let us also talk about the people around this person or around us. We are talking about this as if it is something bad. Would somebody also have taken upon themselves to check on her? Before we go there, before we go into that era, let me just talk about some of the health reasons that can also make people get themselves isolated. Mental
Mhm.
health also shows that most of the signs of mental health, whether it is major depression, schizophrenia, or schizoaffective disorder or anxiety, some major part of mental health issues, you can identify one unique symptom, which is avoidance of people. Such people usually want to be by themselves. They don't want to have anything to do with anybody. It's not by their own choosing, it is the disease process. So if people are going through withdrawal from people, maybe they were fine with people, they had friends with people, they have friends, they were coming to family unions, everything, and all of a sudden, boom, you don't see them. Maybe they have taken a turn in the wrong direction as far as mental health is concerned. So
Mhm.
when you see social or antisocial behavior, we always have to be careful and see if those of us who are around them, if we can offer some help. Either the person doesn't even know that they are going through mental health challenges, or they know but they are unable to deal with it in such a way that they want to just be by themselves. So, like I said, it is a classic sign of most of the mental health challenges. So if you know somebody who is avoiding people, we are easily able to judge. We say, these people, this guy, he doesn't like people, as we say in other language. He doesn't like people. She doesn't like people. It may not just be that they don't like people. They may be going through some serious mental health challenges, for which reason we need to actually surround them. So I'm going to throw that to you. What are the responsibilities of the people about this lady, people who were around? And of course, not just her, but anybody who is a loner. What responsibilities do we have as a pastor to make sure that we surround these people?
When you read First Thessalonians 5, verse 11, he said, "Therefore encourage one another and build each other up, just as in fact you also doing." We have to build each other up. We cannot avoid other people. Say you have a neighbor and you haven't seen that neighbor for weeks. You have to go and knock the door and try to check, "Oh, how are you doing? Is everything okay? I haven't seen you for a while, so I'm just passing and I just want to say hi." One of our neighbors, when we moved to a new place, and this old man and the woman, I think their age will be 70 to 75. And it snows heavily over here. So one time there was a snow, and I saw them digging out, and I knew for sure they can't do it. So I went and gave them a hand, and I did their drive through, their backyard, everything for them. I was there within like 2-3 weeks, and I can hear this man knocking my door. And he said he want to come and check on us to see how we are doing. We haven't seen us for a long time, but because when I park my car, he see that we are home. But I think when we traveled and we're not home, so he came and knocked the door. Most of the time, sometimes I park my car in the garage and stuff like that. So this neighbor, he cares about us. So me too. Once a while, I go and knock their door and say, "How you doing?" So I'm doing great. So you cannot. If somebody is hiding from you, we have to chase them. As the Bible says, we have to encourage each other to approach the person. "How you doing?" You have to be friendly, because if people around that apartment or that complex or that community, one of them reach to her, maybe they will find out something is not right. But for 2 years, they avoided this lady and she passed away.
Wow.
And it could also be that maybe when people try to greet her, maybe avoid them. So sometimes it will pull people also out from you.
Right.
Could be that. Mm-hmm.
It is it possible? It is very possible. But that is where the burden also falls on all of us to not stop. Because I mean, obviously, there are people you meet and you say hi, and they will look at you like you're crazy. Why are you saying hi to me? I've seen some of those people, you know. But that being said, we should still insist on being friendly and checking on people, especially like you said, on neighbors that we may not have really much to do with.
Mm-hmm.
At least if we are neighbors, we have each other to check on all the time. So that is a very good point. Now the other thing is with this lady, as we are talking about, she had asthma. She had peptic ulcer. So if you also think about the fact that not everybody is perfectly whole, even if you are young and you say that, hey, as for me, I don't have blood pressure, I don't have diabetes, I don't have asthma, I don't have ulcer, I don't have anything going on. So if I just close the door to everybody, I'm not going to have any issues. People are sick and they do not know it, apart from the mental health issues. So if we begin to look at ourselves as invincible, as untouchable, that is when sometimes we begin to withdraw and say that I can do all things by myself. You may be right to some point, but then if you need help, nobody will know, because you have projected an image of being able to take care of your own business, which is all right, just that you still need to be surrounded by people. But I'll still have a question though. How could people in the apartment, the neighbors they heard the TV playing constantly. They heard, that that's TV on morning and night, 2 years, and they thought that apartment was empty. Don't you think it's got something to do with society these days, about individualism? What do you want to say about that?
Yes. I think it's about society. Society right now, somebody put it this way: society is sick. We are sick in a sense that we don't care about each other. Where I come from, when your mother is not around, and it's another mother, and when you are doing something, they will call you, they will whip you. But now it's different. You can't go and chastise somebody's child. You'll be in trouble. Maybe you find yourself, somewhere you don't want to be. So people we are growing to avoid people. Our mentality is changing, not from the early years. Now, everybody is by himself. Me and my family, they don't care about each other. Because like you said, the TV was on, everything was on, but nobody cares. People don't care. So until you yourself reach out for help, people don't care. Few people care. The rest, they really don't care. And I'll give another example. One of our neighbors also, I noticed he was not here. He traveled, have a vacation, and I can see his garbage, and they were delivering stuff through the door. And I can see the grass is growing. I can see nobody is there. So I took it upon myself to pack his stuff in a certain way, because these days people can come at your door and pick your stuff. That is help. When he came back, he was so grateful that I did that for him. But certain people, when you go to do such help to them, they can also put you in trouble.
Oh yes, I was about to say this somebody could have called the cops on you for going to a neighbor's house.
Yes, I'm trying to do good, but it tends to be bad. Some people are grateful, some people are ungrateful. So this is how it is.
This is what it is in the world today.
I don't want to go a little even further. So some people, like you said, you try to avoid them. And let me give you this example. I didn't want to bring it up, but I'll bring it up. When we moved to a new place, one of the neighbors also came and said, "Where do you work?" And I told him where I work. And he looked at where our house and said, "Hey, can you afford this?" From there, I look him in a different way. I greet him, I do everything, but I have to be careful. So such person, we are human beings. It's hard for you to approach because you don't know their mind. The way, the eyes, the demeanor, everything that he will look at you, you have to watch such people, the way you deal with them.
Great. So basically, the lesson here is you have to navigate society now, especially knowing that some people are definitely, when we started, we say, can people really be that evil? And we agree that yes, a lot of people are really bad. They are out there to get you. Talking about physical people, some people, if you give them the chance, they will get you. Either steal your money, either put some statement and call the cops on you for not doing anything. Either whatever way they can do, they can put you in trouble. And then the other half is, but if you don't talk to people, you yourself may need help at some point. I remember when I was some years ago, I listened to one preacher who said that people are our connections. People are the connections that God has made for us to achieve whatever we have to achieve in this life. You will need people for whatever dream you have. You cannot do anything in isolation. In the same way, these same people are going to hurt you. So you have to be really smart to navigate life and ensure that you do not cut everybody off. So I'm happy when you said in the beginning that cut some off, not everybody, right? You still stand by that statement.
You can't cut everybody off.
You can't cut everybody off. But our lady here that we are using as an example, unfortunately, she cut everybody off. And the people she didn't cut off, who were the people she worked with, I mean, her job friends and other people, who even her neighbors, they also let her down because obviously she had cut ties with her family, and those immediate surrounding people also disappointed her. So the lesson here is, for your own health, first of all, for your mental health sake, don't cut everybody off.
Everybody.
Yes, just choose the right people. Choose the people you want to make sure that if you are in need, you can call on. They may be family. Obviously, you need some family among them. What do you think? I know family can hurt us so much, but do you think that we can use friends alone and no family member? What do you say to that?
You have to combine the two.
Okay.
You can't cut everybody off. Some family members may hurt you. You might, exit a little bit, but you're still hanging in there. Friends also. So it's here and here. You can't cut everybody off. Still, you need a family. Still, you need friends. Because sometimes maybe you move to another state. There's no family around, immediate family around. You need a friend. You need friends that can, help you. You reach out. Oh, I need this help. I need this. We need each other. Like I was saying, in my community, I know who I can approach. I know who I can talk. I know who I can say, good morning, sir. Then you go your way. You don't avoid them, because maybe the people that you think you're going to avoid them in the near future, they might help you. So you cannot avoid everybody. You still need people in your life. I don't want to bring Bible in because we want to do this program for everybody. But let me chip in a little bit. A richer time, even Jesus asked his disciple. Everybody left him. They left Jesus, and Jesus said, "Are you also going to leave me?" But the 12 said no. So you can avoid everybody. People may leave you. People may avoid you. Maybe sometimes you are annoying to somebody. And let me put it, sometimes maybe how God has made you, how God has blessed you, people envy you. Envy also can bring this. Envy. Some people are envious. No matter what you do, they envy you. Maybe you don't have nothing, but they're still jealous of you. So they left Jesus. Everybody left him. But he asked the disciples, "Are you also going to leave me?" So we need to approach. Sometimes somebody hurts you, but you cannot go to your father's brother, your auntie, or your cousin or somebody. Everybody don't like me in this family. Can you be my friend? Can you be my mentor? Can you be this? And if any help, I believe we can get help.
Very, very nice. Very nicely said. You need somebody. You need somebody. And if we look at it from the health perspective, even though our bodies, when you're not sick, you are all good, you're all well and good. All it takes, God forbid, is a heart attack. You will need somebody there to even call 911 for you. You know, you need somebody there to help you with, like, an asthma attack that lady may have had. Any emergency, you will need people around. So much as people do hurt us, we still have to have some of them around us. At this point, I want to make sure, if you are watching and you have a comment or a question for the panel, please send it either to a comment or however you want, and we will be able to talk about it so that we will wrap up soon as possible. But definitely, we need people around us. Now, before we wrap up, as we wait for comments.
Before you wrap up, I have a question myself. I want to ask you, because you are in the medical field. Can loneliness also bring depression?
Yes, that's a good point. A very good question. Can loneliness also bring depression? Can loneliness bring depression? Yes, and what I would say is, so it's both ways. If you are a loner, if you are by yourself all the time, you can easily get depressed, because we get vibes. We get joy from interaction. That's how we have been made. You know, when you have people around you, you have some neurotransmitters that will release. You know, that will make you feel good. The feel good hormones when you have enjoying company and all that, they get released, and you are less likely to be depressed. It also works the other way. If you're also depressed, it can also make you lonely. Because as I said earlier, depression, as one of the signs of depression, is to make you withdraw yourself from everybody. So you can yourself withdraw because of depression, or by withdrawing yourself first because you don't get association with people, because you don't get people near you to cheer you on, to give you the vibes that you need to be happy and joyful in life. That can also end you up in depression. So it works both ways. Definitely works both ways. It will be sad. It will be sad though to have depression because you are a loner. You know, because you stuck by yourself and get depressed. That one you can prevent. If you get depressed and you are withdrawing, everybody knows the disease itself is making you do that. And even that, we encourage you to come around people and be mingling with people so that your depression will minimize a little bit. So that's a very important question. Now, the question that I'll also ask you, since you asked a medical question, is that can anybody who truly loves God and, you know, is a Christian or is, you know, whatever religion they are saying that they are close to God, can they also really cut everybody off in their life? Can they really be lonely?
Yes, if you cut, no matter who you are, if you cut people off, you'll be lonely. And let me give an example that loneliness is not good. I think, let me bring Bible in a little bit. When Jesus was about to die, the Bible says he took his disciples to a place to pray. And whilst he was praying, he came back, all the disciples, they were sleeping. He was depressed. He was lonely. He thought that, oh, I just left and everybody is sleeping, everybody is not watching. You know, you can't avoid people, because if you choose to be, I don't know, I don't know how to put it, but we need each other. We need each other. And people will encourage you. When you are among people, when you associate yourself with people, I mean, it's different by you being by yourself.
One thing I have noticed is whenever I go to church, you know, people say that, oh, I can stay home and go to church. I can stay home and do my mosque. I can stay home and do whatever. But it's different when you see people and you do it together.
Yes.
Right? That is why I think scripture says that do not forsake the assembly of the brethren.
So,
right?
yes.
Because there's a reason why he wants us to do that. Right? Because it's not the same as staying home and being by yourself and say, you know what, I can watch church on TV. I can watch games on TV. So I don't have to go to any church program. I don't have to go to any basketball games. I don't have to go to any soccer games. I don't have to go to any friend's house. I can see everything on TV and on internet. So why do I need people to bother me, waste of my time? But there's a difference. And your question comes in because if you are by yourself, you can eventually get mental health issues, depression.
I think I was watching your program, if not last week or last 2 weeks, I think it's what you and your wife talking about vacation.
Yes.
You know, sometimes you need to take your family and go and enjoy yourself, associate yourself with people just to free your mind. All these things also help. You can't just be by yourself all the time. Even when you work. I know I was watching you. I mean, you have to, some people want to work the whole year. You need time for yourself and for your man, your family, so that you also can enjoy and associate yourself with people like church. When you come to church, you see so many people, you can mingle with them, you can talk with them, you can also release some tension out of your life.
Definitely. We have received only one thumbs up. I don't know if anybody has asked a question on any other place on Facebook, because we put it in several places, but I haven't seen any question come through yet. That's why we are quizzing ourselves right now. But if you are on and you have a question, I see a few people on, you can put it in the comment section, and hopefully I would see it, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube. Let me see. I think I saw one come through WhatsApp. Let me see. Or maybe not. No, that's a different thing. All right, so we are going to wrap up now. And the main point we want to hit again, and I'm going to give you a chance to give your concluding remarks, Pastor Desmond. But before that, I just want to recap what we have learned today. And what we have learned is that people can be really evil. You know, if people can, like the man of God said, if somebody can carry a gun to a school full of innocent kids and kill them, that is the mind of some people. So some people around you, they may not shoot you, but they are really, really evil. There are real evil people out there. Similarly, there are also good people there. There are people who would also lay themselves down for you, like Christ did, right? People who are ready to take the bullet for you. So even though there are evil people there, evil men and women, evil family members, evil parents, evil siblings, evil uncles, evil cousins, evil whatever you can think of, even though there's those people there, there are also very good people, very, very important people who can also help. So according to our discussion, we have learned that you need to choose, navigate life by choosing the right people to associate with. You cannot go through life and say that, as for me, I get everything that I can get. I don't need anybody in my life. That is a recipe for depression, recipe for anxiety, recipe for illness, recipe for death, like we saw in the Joyce Vincent's life in the UK, who died and was not found for 2 good years because she had cut off communication and friendship with everybody, including family. So that is what I have learned. And I'm going to pass it on to Pastor Des. Tell us what you want to leave your audience today.
What I want to say is, don't avoid people. We need each other. Somebody may hurt you, did something to you when you were a kid, molest you, did so many things to you. But don't avoid people. And I have in my own, I have something that I wrote here. Association brings release of tension. Sometimes you put a lot of tension on you. But when you associate yourself with people, the tension and the burden that is upon you will release. Try not to avoid everybody. I can put it this way: try to stay away from people's path, but try not to avoid everybody, because we need each other. As the Bible says, we need to encourage each other. Don't avoid everybody. Don't avoid your family. When somebody did something to you, approach the person. And also, what I've learned today is we need to check on each other. Sometimes you haven't seen a friend for a long time. Just give the person a call to check on him. How is he doing? Don't avoid people, because association brings release of tension. Thank you so much.
That was wonderful and beautiful, and but I like the one you chipped in there. If you haven't seen somebody in your life for a long time now, this is a good time to pick up a phone, call them, or go knock on their doors. You never know what they are going through, right? Right. Very, very, very important. Thank you so much, Pastor Des, for your time. And viewers, we want to thank you for being with us. I think I should give Pastor Des a clap for such a very good time discussion with us right now. So yes, I give you thumbs up, Pastor Des. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to come and express my views on this issue, because I know this issue is a broad issue, And especially we are in the Western world, we are facing this problem and it's killing a lot of people. And because of loneliness, people are turning to alcohol, drugs, and all kinds of stuff. But I'm here. If you are going through such problem, please, it's not everything that is spiritual. Reach out for help. There's so many help out there that you can get, and it will help you a lot. That's what I want to say. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And like he said, if you want to reach out to anybody, if you are going through depression, suicidal ideation, something is telling you to kill yourself because somebody is really evil to you, your parents, whatever. If you are going through any such a thing, pick up the phone and call any person that can help you in your area. If you don't know anybody, just call 911 and they will help you and treat you and ensure, or call the emergency line from whatever country you are watching us from, and they will help you and treat you. Depression has medications that we can use to treat. Anxiety has medications. We have several important and very effective medications that you can use to treat some of these things that make us withdraw from people. And if you can do that, it will help you a lot. That way your life will be better. And we are going to end by saying that, beloved, we wish above all things that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers. Pastor Des, you can still hang around. We'll talk about a few things.
Thank you.